Are you sitting comfortably? Is the door locked? Are the windows shut? Do you feel secure? I hope so, because I'm going to take you on a journey through three of London's most haunted theatres. London is a old city with an ancient history. Some of its theatres are more than 200 years old, and they have ghostly and historic associations. So, strap yourself in and let's go on a journey and find out which three theatres in London are London's most haunted. Our first stop is going to be the Theatre Royal Drury Lane, which is in Covent Garden. Now, this is reputedly not only the most haunted theatre and indeed haunted building in London or indeed the UK, but in fact the world. It's unsurprising that it's host to a number of ghosts, including two clowns and a mysterious man in grey. One of the clowns is said to be one of the world's most famous early pantomime performers, Joseph Grimaldi, who lived between 1778 and 1837. The other is said to be the spirit of cross-dressing pantomime dame Dan Leno. The two clowns are said to haunt the stage area, whereas the man in grey is said to mainly haunt the upper circle and appears to wear a tri-cornered hat. These lost spirits have manifested themselves in one way or another across the centuries. In the 1840s, when the theatre was renovated, bones were discovered behind an upper circle wall, and architects suspect that these bones are those of the man in grey himself. The grey apparition has been seen by numerous cast and crew members for stage shows, including The Dancing Years, The King and I, South Pacific, Oklahoma, and Miss Saigon, and his appearance is said to be a good luck omen for a successful show. Ushers at the theatre have also reported seeing the ghost as late as 2012, when the man in grey rocked an upper circle seat and told staff members to shh. Similarly, both of the clown spirits seem to be present at the theatre. Grimaldi has reportedly kicked a few actors on stage, and when they feel a shove, they turn to see nobody's there. Whereas the panto dame, Dan Leno, manifests himself as a smell rather than a vision. He's said to transmit a lavender fragrance from beyond the grave. The Theatre Royal dates back to 1663 and has made and broken many careers of actors and theatre professionals. Actors, being a notoriously passionate breed, no doubt wished that they would rather never be forgotten, even in death. In particular, the main highlights of Joseph Grimaldi took place at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane. He sadly got a crippling disease and eventually lost the use of his legs, which meant he could no longer engage in his trademark physical performances. Perhaps out of jealousy, he's known to administer a sharp kick to the legs of actors and theatre workers, sometimes even a tug of the hair or a shove in the back. In regards to the lavender pantomime dame, well, it's said that the actor suffered from terrible incontinence, and he attempted to mask the smell with a thick perfume. It seems that he took this embarrassment beyond the grave. The haunting of the man in grey is also pretty dramatic, as what are thought to be his remains, as has already been mentioned, were found in a bricked-up room near the upper circle. His bones were found with a dagger in the chest, and many historians believe he was murdered at the exact spot. Next, we go to the Adelphi Theatre in the Strand. The Victorian actor William Terrace is known to haunt this theatre. He was a very well-known performer in his day and took on many heroic roles in both Shakespeare plays and contemporary productions of the time. In life, Terrace was said to be mild-mannered, but in death it appears that Terrace is less friendly. This may well have something to do with the brutal way in which he died. Terrace has been seen by a few actors, but heard by many more. He reportedly knocks on a particular dressing room door, which was formerly the dressing room of his actress lover, Jessica Millward. Terrace died bleeding in Millward's arms, and his final words were, much like the Terminator, "I'll be back." And this was certainly the case in 1928, when the ghost of Terrace reportedly attacked a young actress named June, who was in the dressing room in question. Perhaps Terrace was confused as to why June was in his lover's room, and Jessica Millward herself. Terrace is also said to wander across the road to the Covent Garden tube station, which he haunts too. And I have actually covered this in my video on top 10 most haunted tube stations. Many travellers on the tube have seen his spiritual form and have managed to identify him by surviving photographs of the man himself. William Terrace was murdered at the stage door of the Adelphi Theatre by a crazy out of work actor back in December 1897. He was due to perform in the evening's performance of Secret Service when a former friend, deranged actor Richard Archer Prince, stabbed him to death in a fit of jealous rage. Terrace died in his lover's arms and promised her this would not be the last of him. The high drama of his passing may well have led to Terrace leaving a spiritual imprint behind in the realm. Our final trip is to the Dominion Theatre, Tottenham Court Road. This is possibly the ghost of a 14-year-old barmaid, Eleanor Cooper, who was killed in the London beer flood. Other victims of the beer flood also manifest themselves at the Dominion Theatre, but it appears that Eleanor is the only one to have taken corporal form in recent years. Eleanor has been most recently seen by two theatregoers, Stuart Cheverels and his partner Natalie. The pair went to enjoy a show of We Will Rock You and snapped a cheeky snapshot of the pair sitting in their seats before the show started to put on Facebook. On flicking through the pictures the next day, Stuart saw a very distinct and very ghoulish face peeking between his and his date's head. On top of that, staff at the theatre frequently report mysterious bangs, crashes, and the giggle of a dissonant yet seemingly non-existent child. The Dominion is built on the site of an old brewery, which was the scene of a devastating and deadly disaster in 1814. Some 200 years before the young barmaid was pictured, 3,500 barrels of beer, which is over 1 million pints, burst, creating a tidal wave of beer that flattened nearby buildings and drowned 8 people, including the unfortunate Eleanor Cooper. Well, that was a journey through 3 of London's most haunted theatres. I hope you enjoyed it. Do you know of any other haunted theatres in London? I'm sure they probably all are haunted to some degree and have their own particular ghost stories. So maybe you'd have preferred that I covered one of the other ones in this video. If so, please leave a comment. Also, please leave a comment on any feedback you have for the video and also any experiences of ghosts that you've had, either at theatres or elsewhere. Also, finally, please make sure you subscribe to my channel because I do have, as I say in every video, fresh content coming every single day, and I cover a very, very, very wide range of subjects. So please subscribe, and thanks for watching this. Take care now. Bye.